So the epiphany part was that my spirit team, once I made that decision last night that, you know, some things just still won't be allowed, you know what I mean? Like, even with knowledge, you can have a lot of knowledge and stuff like that, but sometimes that just means that you see a lot of bullshit, you know, and you're like, it doesn't mean that you have the power to stop it. But for in my case, I just feel like I have the power to say, you know what, it's above me now. So that's pretty much that's what I'm getting at. Last night when I came to that decision, that I was like I'm just cutting the cords to things that are holding me back. You know, people thinking that I believe their lies is something that's holding me back, and that's a big thing for me. Not only that, it's just the whole world facade. It's the whole world facade of like it's deeper than that. It's like, you know, I could say that and you would think that I'm talking about like some relationship shit. But what I'm really talking about is how people try to, you know, put you in harm's way. Like, I don't even know how else to say it, because I'm trying to say it in a nice way, but people try to put you in harm's way. And, you know, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. You know, they try to use you and use your energy. They pick up on what you got. That's what I'm trying to say. They pick up on what you got, and they come into your field to take what you got. It could be, you could have nothing. Let's be clear. You could have nothing. Yes. And even I was watching a video yesterday, and there was a woman saying this in her channeled message, that it's true. They could still want what you got, and you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing. They've broken you down to nothing, and they want to resurrect you, pull you back. Stop shaking, Jesus. Stop shaking, Jesus, okay? Don't do it. Do you think that it would have been okay if someone picked up Jesus' dead body and started shaking it? Nah, it's not cool. Look. Excuse my language. Excuse if you take it the wrong way. I don't want to offend anybody, but like, you know, I feel that certain things that have been done in history were like them taking Jesus' dead body and shaking it, to be really honest with you. And in the history of our lives, they like to pick you up, not only just kick you when you're down, but then pick you up and fucking shake you. Why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Bitch, you killed me. That's why, bitch. Remember that? Remember you said, no, that one. I don't need that one. But wait, come back here. You were supposed to help me with something. Huh? Yeah, this message is all over the place. So basically, I think you're getting what I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, which is to say that I decided to end that. Call me mature. My voice cracked when I said it. Call me mature. Call me an auntie. You know, one thing I won't do, as they say, is go back to the same shit that I elevated from. Stop it. Is go back to a darker, like, I don't need to embody my shadow 24/7 to survive. There was a time that you know what I mean? And I love my shadow. I love her so much. Like, we go back and forth. You know what I mean? I mean, she's here right now. I mean, literally, like, we're both talking. You know what I mean? We're both talking. And that's individuation, as Carl Jung describes it. You know what I mean? Because for me personally, you're talking about someone that I've been split since like my whole life. I don't even know when it started, honestly. It might have started before I was even born, because that's when the trauma started. But I've been split, and I've always been like different sides of me, you know? So that's why people could be so surprised when they're like, wait, what? Because it's like a whole totally different side of me, you know? And none of them are bad, you know? None of them are bad, in my opinion. Some of them are more cut and dry. Some are more nice, you know, and I might know something and I'll just be like, that's cool, you know, and I'll just act like it's whatever. But don't think that I don't know. And I keep trying to tell people that. I'd be like, well, you know, I see everything that you're doing. And they just think that because I said it like in just plain English like that, that they just don't have to understand it. And that's why I work in communication, because people, you can literally speak plain English and people don't get it. And that's why I like to speak multiple languages, because maybe I have to say it in a more flowery way, like, or maybe I have to say it in a more, you know, like, maybe I have to say it in Spanish, maybe I have to say it in French, maybe, you know, maybe I have to say it in a different language for you to really comprehend the level of intensity of my words. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. And I'm okay with that. So I say all that to say that once I decided with my spiritual team that I'm not going to just keep allowing, it's giving Twin Peaks energy. It's giving Twin Peaks like the whole town doesn't know what the fuck. Where's Laura Palmer? Where is she? You know? And then when it came down to it, it was just another classic American fucking story. Isn't that sad? We'll dig deeper into that another day. Not today. But yeah, no longer will I sit and just be like, you're playing in my face. You know what I mean? No longer will I just sit and be like, you're playing in my face, and that's okay. Because I tell you personally, I'll be honest with you, I don't like to do that. I'm not gonna lie and say I've never done it. I'm not gonna lie and say I've never done it. Like, especially when you're younger, stuff like that. If you feel that you have a reason to lie, you're gonna lie. That's what lying is about. That's what people always be like, oh, be honest and stuff like that all the time. I get it, and I believe in honesty, and I believe in transparency. I do. I truly believe in those things, and I want that. I give that, and I want that. But I know for myself, I give it as much as I get it. I don't mind being a mystery to you, because I see you hiding things. I see you hiding. I don't want to say I see you being a snake in the grass, but for sometimes it is that. I see that. You know? And the most bombastic, upfront people are not always the best people. The people that always try to tell you, oh, I keep it real all the time. Nah, people who have secrets, even those that say they keep it 100% real all the time. So I'm not saying that. But, you know, I'm just done with the, like, wool over my eyes sheep energy. I'm not sheep. I'm a lion. You know what I mean? I'm a lion and I'm a tiger. You know what I mean? And I've always been that way. I'm really more of a tiger than a lion, but I've learned to be a lion. I've learned to sit back and receive. And when I go out, I hunt. And then I come back and I sit. And I be still. You know? So now that I've reached that point in my journey, dead ass, like, that's why they made me put my makeup on, all this extra stuff. They were like, now you gotta talk about it now. I was like, what's going on? They were like, nope, keep paying attention, keep listening. And I kept listening, and then it just like hit me. It just dawned on me. I was like, I even started crying. I was like, no, I'm scared. And they were laughing. They're like, why do you always do that? And I was like, because I'm scared. I was like, they're like, be cool girl energy. Like, be cool girl energy. Like, I'm cool today. You won't see me cry when I wear my shades. You won't see me wince in pain. You won't see me cry. And you won't even see the glow of my smile, truly, because of my shades. So, get you some. But anyway, like, I say all that to say, they said to me this, they said, great, now you're ready. I was like, ready for what? And they were like, for the next part of your journey, the spiritual journey. And I was like, that just made me spit the weed all over the way. They were like, the spiritual journey. And I'm like, the spiritual journey, bitch. I've been on my spiritual journey, first of all, my whole life. But I've been on my spiritual journey for like 20 years, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, no, that was the spiritual part of the spiritual journey. Now, you got to get back on the physical part of the spiritual journey. And I was like, what? So you mean to tell me, you trying to tell me that this whole time, I wasn't even on a journey yet? Oh, fuck. And they're like, nah, that's not what we're saying. So obviously you've been on the journey, but you've been on the shadow part of the journey, the spiritual part of the spiritual journey. Now you got to get into the physical part of the spiritual journey. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm getting everything. I'm getting intuitive services, working with people, helping people, which I already do. And I've been doing that my whole life, you know. So but I'm going to step that up on a professional level, and helping people and traveling to some spiritual places, and also studying a lot more studying. The last time that I was deep in my studies like that was like 2020, 2021, up to 2022, because when 2022 hit 11/17, it was like, boop, blindsided, bitch. No more spiritual study this year. You need to get yourself together. And that didn't happen. I did not. No, I did. I got my money. I definitely chased the bag, and I came out with a big bag, which is crazy. And it was crazy because I was manifesting with, shout out to Manifested Moon. I love her affirmations and her manifestation rituals. And she was the first person I started to ever do actual manifestations with, because I felt that her energy was so pure that I was like willing to try it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I did come out with like an extra bag. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it was a big bag after doing that shit. So it may be time for that as well, because I definitely need a big bag this year or next. It took a while to manifest, honestly. It wasn't like, 7 days. Like, no, bitch. It was like, bitch, next year or next 2 years. Like, but I got it. I did get it, because it was there. It was like a big bag. It was like, I really sat there and built a big bag, like a horse with blinders on. But anyway, of savings, you know, but I had to use it. It was there for a reason. I needed to use it, and I did use it. And we had some fun with it too. But so I'm still obviously downloading as I'm giving this message. But yeah, they're telling me I'm getting back on the physical part of my journey. I had to get back deeply into my intuition over the past year. So thank you for that. Thank you for, I don't want to cry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. These people. I said, don't make me cry for these people. I love y'all. You're not people. You're family. You're tribe. I'm going to start calling y'all tribe. What up, tribe? Okay? Because, you know, we all have different families, but we're a tribe. But yeah, like over the past year, and then I'm starting to see why even certain people were in my life, because they did raise my vibration. And okay, glasses. They did help me to raise my vibration, and I'm very thankful. Everything doesn't always work out the way that you want it to, and yet it still can. But you know, you have to, for me, authenticity is key. And I think homie Chosen 144 was saying that authenticity is a non-negotiable, you know. And I know I'm not perfect, so I don't expect anybody to be perfect, you know. But I just want the real, because what happens when you hold back your real is not only do you start being fake, but you actually don't have anything to offer. You don't have anything of substance to offer, and you don't even realize. Because I'm someone like, this is why they was telling me I'm gonna get on it on a physical level, because I'm someone that it's all happening in real time. Like, I am someone that I see through the matrix. I see that sometimes I see zeros and ones. Sometimes I see the lines. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I see the colors. And that's why I've always kept my glasses. I'm not even big on wearing them. I'm not even big on contacts, and I'm definitely not getting no corrective vision surgery. I love the way I see. because I see a different spectrum. Maybe that's affected my spirituality. Who knows? But it's true. And I'm going to take that and get back into travel, get back into study, and get back into being who I truly am. And then we just gonna see. So let me finish rolling up this joint. This beautiful high score. Yeah. I love the new packaging of trees lately. But anyway, y'all, 1555, let me sign off. Have a great day, and thank you for coming in and joining me. We're going to develop this. We're going to step it up even more, but this is just my real authentic vlogging and stuff like that. So much love to you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy this beautiful springtime weather, and shout out to the people who are affected by the natural disasters that are happening around the world at all times. In Jesus' name. God bless.